Right then, everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Howson, and today I wanted to have a quick look at Diogo Dalot. Now, Dalot is someone that I think he's finished at Manchester United under previous managers, previous regimes. Didn't look like he had the abilities under Solskjaer. Some shocking performances under Jose Mourinho. But I think Dalot's emergence under Ralf Rangnick explains how one man's player, for example, or even Fellaini maybe, under Jose Mourinho, can become integral to what the team's trying to do. And even though under other managers, he doesn't quite fit, under this particular manager, he is literally one of the most key players. And that can go the opposite way around as well. Someone who was key under somebody else becomes surplus to requirements under a new manager, possibly the Tony Marshall effect. Right, let's talk about Dalot then. Heavily been favoured by Rangnick since his arrival. And a lot of the dialogue around that as people stating that more suited to Ralph's philosophy, the style of play. He's definitely much better on the ball, objectively better offensively than Wan-Bissaka. And that's obviously a requirement in the system that Ralph's looking to deploy. So in the first 10 games of Ralf Rangnick, Dalot's had 8 starts, 227 minutes, one bench appearance, and only once was he an unused sub. So he's featured, and in that time, you've seen 2 starts for Wan-Bissaka, 174 minutes, 4 times on the bench unused, 1 time not even in the squad at all, and 3 games out with illness. Diogo Dalot in the Premier League under Ralf Rangnick, just under Ralf Rangnick. Second for the most ball recoveries, so it's loose balls and recoveries in his own half. That's actually all over the pitch. Second with that with 50. He's first in terms of the tackles won and first in terms of interceptions with 13 and 12 respectively. Those are decent numbers. And those are very decent numbers when it comes to what we consider an attacking fullback. Defensively, he's right up there. Didn't expect that. Didn't think it was in his locker. Interestingly, and since his emergence as an attacking right back, he hasn't actually registered an assist, and his final ball has more often than not left a lot to be desired. But he is a lot better in possession. Unfortunately, a lot of people literally just look at the outcomes of stuff and forget that most of football is your possession, your positioning, your ability in the build-up. And just having someone that you're able to trust to give the ball and maintain that possession, which I think they've got in Dalot versus Wan-Bissaka. Having someone that can help recycle the ball in build-ups, having someone that can help move the ball through the thirds, and having someone that you can trust to do those things is absolutely huge. Rather than putting you under pressure with a bad touch, rather than boxing yourself into a corner, it ain't always about the goals and the assists that come from stuff. It might just be about how you're able to use him to get out of pressure, therefore not putting the defence under so much pressure. So many times you see the ball break down once it gets to Wan-Bissaka when we're playing out from the back. That's kind of been eliminated by bringing Dalot in because he's just a more effective footballer, someone that's able to more control and move the ball up the pitch. And in the progression, Dalot's statistically the best progressor of the ball out of all the fullbacks, having overtaken Luke Shaw, that was the thing that he was hailed for the most. And Dalot's outdoing Wan-Bissaka in pretty much every single offensive metric that's out there in terms of progressive carries, progressive passes, through balls, crosses, switches, carries into the opposition penalty area. Wan-Bissaka appears to be the weakest link in this area, with dribbling being his only strength, the only thing that he is quite good at. And he is able to go past players, but he does offer very little beyond that once he gets into that final third. But what about the defensive ability? We've all sort of spoke about Wan-Bissaka's 1v1 ability is terrifyingly good. His timing on tackles is freakish. But there's more to defending than just 1v1. How does he impact the line defensively? We've heard about, I think it was Troy Deeney came out and spoke about how they targeted Wan-Bissaka with blindside runs, especially when the ball's coming into the box. And we've seen him have weaknesses in that area. You know, can he head the ball effectively? Can he show someone to the inside? We see him go to the ground a lot. Is that generally effective? What does he do when he wins that ball? You know, what does he do when the team's under pressure? What does he do in the transition? There's so much to defend in that you have to take into account. Well, Dalot's not perceived as defensively competent, but he actually excels in 6 of the categories: successful pressures, interceptions, ball recoveries, clearances, aerials won, tackles won, and attacking third. Pressures and tackles won in the attacking third is exactly what Ralf Rangnick wants. Turn over the ball in their half, get on the attack. It's no surprise to me that Diogo Dalot has now emerged or is now cementing himself with those metrics. It's a surprise that it happens so fast and it happens so emphatically. But looking at the numbers now, this is no surprise that I think Diogo Dalot is going to be United's right back for certainly till the end of this season. United might choose to bring someone else in. They might choose to give Ethan Laird a go. But the data right now is not showing. It certainly isn't proven. And actually is kind of showing up Wan-Bissaka in the defensive side of stuff, as well as the offensive side of stuff, which might have been expected. Didn't expect it in the defensive side. He's below average in most of the other defensive metrics: pressures, interceptions, headers won, especially headers. Dalot's got better anticipation. He regains possession proactively in higher areas. He's more technical than Wan-Bissaka. He's able to use his weaker foot, which gives him another option. Maybe it allows him to not have to take that extra tuck or extra second when the opposition are out of position. He's a fullback opponents have to respect. So teams are seemingly at least acknowledging our right-hand side offensively, which they just didn't do when Wan-Bissaka was the starting right-back. And the space is something that I emphasise a lot. When you have a team that's left-sided focused, it's very easy to narrow in as a defence and just say, we'll stay firm here. Who's that over there? Wan-Bissaka, don't worry about him. And just deal with what's in front of you. Now, if you've got Dalot, who you know's got a good delivery, he hasn't actually delivered final product yet, but you know he does have a good delivery that's dangerous. If he's the one standing on the right wing, he's the one waiting for a ball to come out of him that he can spin back inside, you do have to respect that. And that is why Diogo Dalot has made himself first choice for the foreseeable future. He might not be the answer long term, but he's certainly, provably, the best of what we've got right now. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.